and welcome to the Jamie Foster Brown Show. And I am Jamie Foster Brown, all of me. Just take all of me, which is what I want my guest today to do. His name is Wayne Smallwood, honey. Amazing man. I'm so glad I met him. He has an extensive and diverse background in the sports, entertainment, marketing, public relations, and finance industries for over 25 years. He also specializes in raising capital and developing client strategies. He has raised capital for individual sports and entertainment projects for startup ventures. He also assists his clients in mergers and acquisitions, in addition to debt and equity investing. All these are big words, but he's going to explain it all to us, okay, when we get started. He is also a noted and charismatic motivational speaker. Wayne is a graduate of Long Island University, formerly C.W. Post University, where he was a team leader and starring member of the Pioneers from 1983 to 84, the men's basketball championship. Oh my God, ladies. All right. Are you buckled in? Here we go. Look at that, baby. Wayne, hi.
How you doing, Miss Jamie? Jamie, I got to tell you, that was one of the greatest introductions that I could ever imagine. You know, I see why, Sister Magazine did so well. I mean, your personality, your brains, your writing, your style is impeccable. I have admired you for all of these years. And you know what an honor it is to finally have met you through the wonderful Dr. Latanya Eppinger. I mean, that was the greatest, accolade that I could ever achieve, in all honesty. This is an absolute pleasure.
Well, I just got to give a little backstory here. Wayne, at the beginning of the epidemic over a year ago, March, everybody was scared. They were telling us, okay, look, don't go out. You got the coronavirus, blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely.
And Latanya called up Wayne. And what did she say? Wayne, she asked him, he didn't know me from Adam's house cat. And she told him what?
She asked me if I would deliver a package to you because you could not get out because of the inclement weather and because of what was happening during that period of time. Right. And I said, anybody that's a friend of yours is a friend of mine, and I will be more than happy to assist.
And he went shopping and came to the door, left several packages of food and stuff there and said, see ya. Wouldn't want to be it. No, you didn't say that.
No. It was only because of the safety precautions we were taking at that particular time, or else, I would have given you a big hug and said hello and a pleasure to meet you. Because I've already read about you and I knew about you. And so that's why I jumped on the honor. I already knew who you were, know what you've done. Your incredibly brilliant husband, was literally an idol of mine, one of my idols, in the economic business.
I appreciate you so much. And I have to say that Wayne was just getting over an illness and still got out shopped and got in a cab or a black car and brought that over to me. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget it. It was so important to me because I was very frightened during that time. I wasn't sure what to do, and I'm a senior citizen. And they were like, oh no,
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Well, that's what they say. They go.
Well, you certainly don't look it. They would deny you anywhere you go. Don't you ever go in person.
I'll listen. I when God lets you live and breathe and be healthy, I have to be grateful. I'm grateful to him.
That is wonderful to hear.
Your extensive background. I got to get into you. I got to let these ladies know who they're talking to. Who you talking to? Tell me about how you pull together the marketing, the entertainment, and the sports. How can this help our young millennials in terms of educating and providing them a broader outlook? This is a healing teaching platform, Wayne.
Yes.
Share some knowledge. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, you know what, Jamie, it really wasn't a complicated process. It was pretty much aligning everything that I wanted to do and seeing if I can do it all at one time. And obviously, LIU CW Post provided a great platform because they offered great internship programs. It certainly helped that we were the ECAC champions. I played with some of the greatest guys you could imagine in the game, Glenn McMillan, Mike Clark, Larry Jones. These guys were incredible athletes. But at the same time, they were not just gifted athletes, but they were guys that were well known in their communities. And they opened up doors and opportunities for us We had a coach, Bill Sisti, that we all kept in touch with as well. Greg Patrone, he's at Rutgers University. So these guys had all these major connections.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me?
Is he teaching there?
No, he's actually the basketball coach there as well, one of the coaches, and he's doing extremely well, coaching, recruiting players all around the country. But what I'm saying is being in the company of these gentlemen, like I said, not just great athletes, but they had great community ties and they had great connections to the corporate world because they had, in some way or another, had experience working with these individuals or speaking with individuals, preparing for life after, college, sports, and then even the opportunities to get into the pros. So what we did was we went to some of these big companies that encompassed the sports, that encompassed the entertainment. I went to a big advertising agency. Then I worked at, I did an internship at WBLS Radio. It was at 801 Second Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And they just opened up major doors, meeting all the top talent coming through those doors. I got close with a lot of them. I got close with a lot of the entertainers, a lot of the athletes. I tried to play the sport, I did pretty well. But once you realize, at the level at which these guys compete, you got to say, okay, I can't do this now, but you know what? I can do this part of the game and I can still participate. So I went and I started doing endorsement deals, setting up speaking engagements for these guys, and corporate events. And I continue to do that now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I get to align myself with really powerful people,
Do you teach them how to save their money? Because so many of our guys spend foolishly when they get a lot of money. I got to have the big car, the big house, and all the, um, the bells and whistles that go with it. And, then they end up with nothing in the end. I mean, we really need someone who's going to tell them give them, look, this is what happened when so and so and so and so did this and had so many millions. First of all, they don't get, if they sign for 15 million, they don't get 15 million. There's taxes
correct.
and all that.
Absolutely.
And then coach
Taxes, agent fees, etc. Exactly.
So pretend like I'm a star, up and coming basketball boy. Okay. How would I come to you for advice, right? I would come to someone like you.
Well, here's the key. There's a team of individuals that are extremely experienced, 20, 30 years of experience. For instance, there's a gentleman now that we're doing a capital raise for as well, for Wield & Co. His name is David Wield IV. And he runs Wield & Co. 28 years on Wall Street, an incredibly impeccable record. He's establishing the largest investment bank literally in the world right now. He knows about wealth preservation. He knows about individuals with this type of net worth, how to help them reallocate their portfolios so that it's sustaining throughout their lives and possibly to leave on to their children to survive and take advantage of some of this great wealth that they establish also. There's a young Black man now, Jordan Arai, who's also one of the big investment bankers. And we're going to have him as a guest on the show as well. But he's now working with these gentlemen. He's on Black Enterprise Magazine. He even had an article in Forbes magazine where he's handling these high net worth athletes. And he's literally trying to tell them how to save, how to build their assets, go back to college, get the degrees. Obviously you went for the right reasons. You went to go make money to take care of your families. But now the key is the wealth preservation. It's okay to have one or two of these items, but not, to the extent where you're going to go bankrupt.
So what about the taxes and stuff? Because, okay, first of all, do you advise them in purchasing and stuff? I mean, we go, we're like kids gone wild when it comes to, spending our money. Do you get a hold of them before they go wild, or you let them go wild?
That's the attempt.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That's definitely the attempt. That's what our first and foremost purpose is. Guys, like I said, that I'm very closely aligned with, they kind of get together and they do an assessment of exactly what they're going to get and then advise them what they're going to receive after this gross amount. There's taxes. There are a lot of things that they have to consider. There are agent fees as well. There are managerial fees that they have to continue to upkeep. And then there's monies that they need to put away that's actually going to be secured for them for the long term.
You are very arrogant and hard-headed sometimes. How do you convince them? I mean, have you had problems with anyone in the past that problem with getting them to understand this is your future, the future for your family? Because we want to spend money on cars and big houses and things that have no value. Once they're purchased, it have some value, but
Well, you
it's
got to remember the houses always have value. I think it's the cars that those are depreciating assets. You want appreciating assets that are going to gain value over the years. Fortunately, I can knock on wood, never run into anybody who is adverse to the advice that they've been given. But obviously, you see it does happen, and I really feel bad for some of those individuals because their talents were exploited. They were taken advantage of horribly, and then sometimes, unfortunately, some of these guys get involved with individuals who spend their money and they're not even aware their money's being spent because they give them power of attorney in certain cases.
So do they give you power of attorney, or would you even take power of attorney?
No, no. I mean, never take power of attorney. I think, guys like I said that I'm working with now, David Wheel, he sits down with everyone involved, from the parents to the financial advisors, and he gives them a really structured, solid plan. Jordan Arai, pretty much the same thing. He sits down. You got to ask the players, what do you want from all of this at the end of the day? What are your goals? What are your objectives? What do you foresee? And then you have to instill in their heads, listen, you're getting older, we're getting older. So that means your parents are getting older. So healthcare has got to be an important part of your planning process and your portfolio. And those are the things that are emphasized now.
What about
in life insurance?
Healthcare. What about the children in terms of college and things like that too?
Well, they're given plans where they can, for instance, a 529 account where their kids can go to college, with that savings plan, over the years, especially if you start very young, because the cost of college is astronomical right now, and you have to properly plan for it.
Let me ask you something. Is it worth going to college today? I know so many people that have spent all this money to get degrees in the college degrees, and they don't have jobs. I mean, they don't have jobs. They can't even pay back the loans, the college loan. Tell me, what would you suggest? I mean,
well, I always think it's a great idea to go to college because you're learning such diverse knowledge in so many different subjects. You have professors from every walk of life that are all experts at, whatever courses they're teaching. So I think that knowledge is always extremely important. And then you have to make that applicable to the real world, absolutely, and go out and make a living and enjoy what you're doing. Obviously, you're going to study what you love or what you really like. So it's best to be the best at what you do. The same exact services that you would hope for whenever you go to a doctor, you want the best of the best. We all do. So you know what? We want to give the best. So I say if you're going to go and you're going to take on a particular profession, that you give it your all. And if this is something you enjoy, it's not like work. I love what I do right now, working with athletes, raising capital, working with the entertainment individuals, and bringing on programs that I think are not just educational, but I think that they're also bringing people together, regardless of what walk of life they're from. I'm always about camaraderie and bringing us all together. So let us see.
Are you expensive to hire someone like you? I mean, you concentrate on athletes and entertainers. You're not going to concentrate on somebody making.
Well, no, that's not true.
Here or what?
No, the reason why is because they're garnering the most attention. And then once you get to that particular athlete, then you bring the masses of individuals in, and that's how you start to select quality talent. You get people involved, but you want to use the recognizable faces first, so they draw attention. That was really the only reason why I did it that way. And I noticed the number of people that are in tune to when they see a particular face that they know, whatever, Jennifer Lopez, Alex Rodriguez, whoever that is, LeBron James. Once you get some of those guys at the head of that list, then obviously the masses will come. And then through those masses, you're going to get the people that are dedicated and that are committed. And those are the people that you want to work with.
Wayne, but it's an uphill battle. It can be because our people tend not to go with us, my color.
Right, I understand.
Go with others. So what do you tell them to make them come to be with you? To come over here, like, you can trust me. What is it? What's the spiel that you have to give them to make them? Because we don't trust our own a lot of times. Not everybody. I'm not saying that, but
right. Unfortunately, that still occurs to this day. You're absolutely correct. But the key for me is that you try to get to the individuals for the masses of people, and you let them know this is not about me or you aligning with a certain group of people. It's more about who has your best interest in mind, and those are decisions that we need to start to make. So yeah, we can't just segment this and say, I'm going after this guy because he's big in corporate America. Yeah, but you may not last in corporate America. You may need that grassroots company. And a lot of our people tend to have grassroots
What's
businesses.
what's a grassroots company? Give me an example of what you.
Well, I mean, somebody that starts out very, very small and then starts to build and
Oh, I
develop.
see what you're saying. Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
So,
Mhm.
and the key for me is if you start with the smaller companies, you learn more because you have more responsibilities. In a larger corporation, they're all separated, they're all segmented. So I'm never going to learn what the accountant's doing. I'm never going to learn what the legal team is doing. But with a smaller company, I will. I'll see who's keeping the books. I'll see what legal decisions are being made. I'll be able to oversee some of those contracts. I'll see what it takes to go get the vendors, to go get sales. I'll work with the marketing department as well, and I'll learn about a structured marketing plan. And that's what you need. So sometimes you will get lost in corporate America, and
Mhm.
sometimes you got to bite the bullet and make a little bit less money. But guess what? You're gaining a whole lot of experience, and you can become more valuable to your team.
Do people do they feel because you're black that you may not be as knowledgeable as a white manager or agent? And how much do the agents and managers make? When are you like an agent or a manager or?
Well, I don't have the license, no, for that. But
Mhm.
as far as working as a special advisor or representative, that's more in line with what I do. That is categorically what I would do, an advisor to these guys. And I work closely with them, consulting with some of the deals that they should do. And
Okay.
the reason why there's a benefit to this is because I get to go and select the best in each industry for them. But if I was locked in or a particular agent, he's obviously not going to have to utilize anyone else. He's going to feel like he has everything they need. That's
Mhm.
not necessarily the case. So I think if you're in a neutral position where you can go out and select the best of everything across the board, that's advantageous to your client. You know what I mean?
How would someone, if I'm a top female basketball player, and I'm doing pretty good, and they're after me now. How would I know about you? How would I find out about you? How do you market yourself?
Well, I just go basically on the networking side of it, we're going to different events and meeting people and working with top guys in the industry. There's some familiar names that like you and I both know. Terrell Harris, Tobias Harris's dad, one of the best sports agents in the world. And people don't know about him because he doesn't want you to, because he doesn't need you to. He's a perfectionist at what he does. He gets the biggest and best deals. But you know what? He doesn't want a lot of people to know him for just that reason because
Mhm.
he's great at what he does. And he doesn't want to overstack his deck where then he's not able to pay attention to the individual clients he has. That's why he gives the greatest service. That's why he has the best agency. And he's the most trusted and well respected man in the business because of he segments and he selects his client. He's very selective. A lot of guys,
I didn't know he was. I thought he was only dealing with his sons.
oh no,
No,
no, not at all. He's got several of the top athletes. And again, he's very discreet guy. He's very low key.
yes, he
He's
is.
my, great spiritual brother. And you don't know the tremendous assistance he has provided me and guided me in the right direction. I mean, I just give him all the praise because what an outstanding young man he is.
I've asked
Tremendous asset.
Terrell to come on with Tobias.
Oh, I'm certainly going to get him on. There's no question.
This is
The
important.
world needs to hear about him.
He's a father. You know how I feel about black men, and I mean, I have incredible black men in my life. You're one of them. Terrell is another one. I mean, he's been with me since I was working at Black Entertainment Television. I mean, it's just hundreds of years ago, and I admire how he's raised his kids, his children, his five athletes. I don't know if all of my athletes. His daughters are
Yes, tremendous athlete, tremendous. Terrell is not a guy that talks or tells you or structures a plan. Terrell is on the court with them. He's traveling all over the place. He's dedicated to his family. He's committed. You wonder why he's an expert. You wonder why he's the best of the best. He puts the time in. I used to call Terrell at 5:45 a.m. in the morning when I'm off leaving, going to a meeting or whatever job it is that I'm going to. I'm calling Terrell saying, "Hey, do you want to meet me for lunch?" He can't even breathe. I'm at the gym. I'm shooting with my kids. I'm at the gym. I'm lifting weights. Then I call him on Saturday. I said, Terrell, why don't we take a break? Let's go have dinner tonight. I'm upstate with my daughter. This
Yes.
man puts time in.
Are basketball players too.
Oh, they're tremendous athletes. They're assets to his business as well.
Mhm.
I am just so privileged to know him. Some of these beautiful suits that I have on when I got out the hospital, he literally came over and he said, "I need to get you back up where you belong, brother." And so I got to give him major credit. I truly do.
I mean, I see the love that you all have, and I see the camaraderie, and there's a lot of camaraderie with the inside of those teams. I look at the stars of the team. I look at the ones that are not considered stars, but they're the ones who assist the stars to help them to make the baskets and all that. And I
Correct.
look at that. How is it that they keep the jealousy down? How is it that they're able? Is it the coach that, or do they have a certain love and respect for one another that inside of those basketball we don't ever really know the people.
Yeah.
We know the game, we know what the points, and did you see that layup or whatever, but what's it like
Well, it
inside?
starts, to be honest with you, it starts at the coaching level, obviously, and he defines each player's roles. He pretty much tells them what you're going to do, what your role is, and what your importance is to this team. And once you accept that role, at the end of the day, it's about winning games. If you score 1,000 points and I score one, and I play the best defense and got the most steals, and we won, it's a collective effort. And that's really what people in this sport is all about today. Now it's all about we have to work collectively. You may have to do the dirty work. This guy gets the opportunity to shoot the 3-pointers. Another guy has to dive on the floor for loose balls. Another guy has to play defense against the best player on the other team. But whatever your role is, it is accepted because at the end of the day, you all put that championship ring on together.
Is that how they do that? Is that how they decide on how much a person gets paid based on the number of baskets they make, or is it
No.
the best defense, or what?
So it's based on the value of the player, and it depends upon the market he goes to play in, the popularity of the player as well. And sure, I got to say it is comparable to how many points somebody scores or defensively, whatever the particular role is. But the key is if they're a winner, if they're a part of a winning combination. That's how the money gets spread.
Yeah,
Part of a winning combination.
Watching Tobias Harris, either with the 76ers, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
I said, oh my God, that's Terrell's son. I was so excited, But listen, we're gonna take a break right now.
Absolutely.
And we'll come right back. There's more to learn and more for you to share with us.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Sport is the common denominator in the world. And if there's any place where there's equality, it's really in sports.
RISE stands for the Ross Initiative in Sports for Equality. We're dedicated to promoting understanding, respect, and equality in sports and beyond. With the country struggling with race, we believe it's time for the sports industry to come together and really unite the nation.
We want people to speak up, take the pledge, and rise up against racism.
And we'll rise up.
I pledge.
I pledge
To treat everyone
with respect.
and dignity.
We'll rise up.
I will not tolerate discrimination.
Or harassment of any kind.
I will speak up. Speak up whenever I know discrimination is happening.
And I will stand up.
Get up.
Rise up for victims. Take the pledge at risetowin.org.
Okay, here I am. I promised you. This is Jamie Foster Brown. I'm back again. We were talking to Wayne earlier, and he was giving us a lot of insight, a lot of information. My black men, they know a lot. They give a lot. Ain't nothing better than them on earth.
Oh,
Did I say that? Have I said that before? I think I have.
Yeah. You can keep saying it.
Okay, I can't help it, But now we got Wayne was so kind enough to bring us another outstanding American professional, a hero, Mr. Devin Devorris Hester Sr., born November 4, 1982, an All-American former professional football player who was a wide receiver and return specialist in the National Football League. He is widely regarded as the greatest return specialist in NFL history and was the first person to return the opening kick of the Super Bowl back for a touchdown. That means you kicked it and it went to a touchdown. We got to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Okay. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears. Hey, I'm from Chicago, Devin, in the second round of the 2006 NFL draft. And he played college football at Miami, where he was the first player in the university's recent history to play in all three phases of American football: offense, defense, and special teams. In addition to Chicago, Hester also played for the Atlanta Falcons, Baltimore Ravens. Really? Oh, we got people to share. Well, you kind of young. I don't know. The guys I know, they probably grandparents by now. But anyway, and Seattle Seahawks over his 11th season NFL career. 11 seasons. You look like you're 12. What the hell?
Yeah, Devin maintained that youth, man. You know, he's still
or something that looks so good. Pretty teeth. Let me see these teeth. I love a black man with pretty teeth.
Thank you.
Devin. Thank you for joining us here. I'm Jamie Foster Brown. I know you heard of me in the locker room, but we won't mention that. that was the past. I'm so happy you're here and that Wayne brought you here. It's lovely. I'm just excited to spend some time with you this evening. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just staying busy. You know, been retired for 5 years now and have 3 kids, all boys, and just coming back from one of their baseball games. So it's just enjoying life, man, and really spending time with the family.
They like baseball?
So they play where my oldest son is more of a baseball player, but my middle son plays everything. So
how old are they?
So I got an 11-year-old, I got an 8-year-old, and I got a just turned 3-year-old.
Oh my God! Where are you? What city are you in?
So I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, are you all being careful down there?
Yeah.
I don't see no mask on.
I'm in the house, so I'm good.
Well, first of all, let me thank Wayne for bringing you to our platform. You know, I'm always so excited. I'll ask you 10,000 questions just because I need to know. You know,
well, Jamie, you've always gotten the greatest talent on. So when you told me that this was our endeavor, I couldn't think of a greater gentleman. I mean, not just is he an incredible athlete, he's an extremely brilliant man as well. He's a great, dedicated father and husband and a family man. You know, you're looking at a guy who's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first team, 3 times NFL alumni special teams, 20 total returns, you know, football, motivational speaker. When you talk about the top talent in business and in sports, you're talking Devin Hester at that point. You know, a guy that combines all of that together, all those accolades together. And and he's a gentleman, brilliant guy. And you know what? He's getting ready to emerge back on the scene because he's getting calls for everything from endorsements, speaking engagements, you know, worldwide at this point. And, you know, and he's been a great friend to me. We sat down, we broke it together, shook hands. I'm down there. This guy impressed me immensely. And you know, again, and when you talked about the profile of a professional, he's just a true professional across the board, period.
Now, so Devin, are you still playing?
No,
you're still, you still look young though, you know.
I got 3 boys, so I got to stay fit because they're very competitive. So they trying to beat me in racing and everything we do. They competitors. So I got to make sure that my body's right and I'd be able to compete with these kids right now.
Well,
hey, Devin, I gotta be honest with you. I think in a couple of years they're gonna be able to beat you. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to hold on as long as I can.
Devin, do you want them to play football? Also, do you want them to go into the?
To be honest, I want to me. I just want whatever they pick is to succeed at it. You know what I mean? Whether it's football, basketball, whatever. Whether they want to be a lawyer, doctor, whatever it is, I just want them to be the best that they can at that, whatever they're doing, you know, as a father.
Tell me this. You're like retired from that now. So what are you doing daily now though?
So to be honest, like I was one of those football players that was football all day. When practice is over, football. You know, so at the time and when I was in the league playing, I ended up having two kids. So the oldest one and the middle one was born, and I felt like I really wasn't in their lives. During the all season, I was just always training, always up at the facility. During the regular season, people don't realize in regular season you pretty much 7 days out the week. People don't realize that. They think that you may get a day or two off, or you're home in the afternoon. But I was the type of player where I woke up 6:30 in the morning, I didn't get home at 7 at night, and we travel on Saturdays and we play on Sundays. So Monday starts all over again. And I felt like I was in the process of playing catch up with my kids and my family. So now that I'm in that situation where there's no football, I feel like I'm pretty much the mom of the house. I get my kids ready. I wash their clothes every time their clothes are done, ready to get washed. I take them to school.
Is your wife, she's working? Is she working?
She don't work.
Yeah, but you take care of them.
Yeah, I feel like, what I mean? I do more than normal dads do, because
my husband was like that. My husband took care. He had to bathe the kids. He had to dress them. He had to do everything. That's very important. That father figure, they talk about the mother, but I said that father figure is not right. Yeah. Everything goes awry. And I don't think that people give enough of credence or respect to the fathers and how, first of all, if you got boys, you got to teach them to be a man and how to take care of the kids and their families. If you got girls, you got to teach her how to get a man and what kind of man to get. You got to teach her that, and you can teach her to look for signs that this dude might not be the right guy for me in the end. Oh, but he's so cute, daddy. No, but he ain't working, honey. Right. He ain't out at the club. You don't want that. You got to tell him, I don't want that. And so, Wayne, this is something that I'm really, how should I say, I'm adamant about, because I feel that it's the father who is the one who is the dominant figure in the household to teach both the boys and girls. I don't know, Wayne, you don't have children, right? Or do you?
No, I don't. No. I grew up with 4 sisters and 2 brothers, though. Okay. I watched the role of my father as well.
Right.
I mean, 55 years with the same woman since he was 19 years old. And like Devin did, he was competitive with us.
Important? Why is that important? Because I don't think people realize how important it is. You can't marry somebody because, first of all, you got money, Devin and Wayne. Y'all got money, so the girl looking at you, and you're going to marry the girl because she got a fat ass or something like that. We have to be taught, I feel. That's cool. It's eye candy, but there's more to life than that. Right. What are some of the items of making teaching that you all done? You with your brothers and sisters, Devin with his children. What are the things that you want them to get? I emphasize this because my father used to have us on the sofa every Sunday morning.
Right. I try to teach my kids the most important thing is respect people. You know what I mean? Respect people like you want to be respected. And then from that point on, the little things come in place. No lying, no stealing. You know what I mean? The most important thing. Like I have 3 boys, and I can leave $200 laying on the counter. My sons have never stole any money from me. You know what I mean? For me, that's a plus. You know what I mean? They never lied to me. You know what I mean? I told them, always tell the truth. You know what I mean? Regardless if you're wrong or right. And discipline. You know what I mean? I discipline my kids to show them that at the end of the day, do not count on anybody to do anything for you. So I show them as an example, like what I do. I wash their clothes. You know what I mean? I wash my wife haven't washed their clothes since maybe 4 or 5 years now. Haven't washed not one shirt, not one sock, none of that. I get their clothes ready for them in the morning. I show them this is what I do. This is what I did growing up. So when you guys hit middle school, the oldest one, when he hit middle school, this is what I want you to do. So I set an example. I do it. You know what I mean? I go grocery shopping. I do majority of grocery shopping. You know what I mean? I'll bathe. The boys are old enough to bathe themselves, but the baby, he hops in the shower. He takes a shower with me every night. I bathe the baby. You know what I mean? The 2 older, they stay where they want to take a shower by themselves. They go take a shower in your room. But other than that, I show them what a man's supposed to do. Take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Deodorant, all that type of stuff. So the little stuff like that, they getting it from me because they seeing it at their own eyes now. And I feel if you set an example, you know what I mean, you don't have to explain a lot.
When did you retire?
I retired 5 years. Well, going on 5 years now.
Okay, 5 years now. And how did you raise your brothers and sisters? What did you do?
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest of the seven.
Okay.
I'm the youngest. So I mean, pretty much what Devin is saying as well. I watched by example. They were always taking care of me, taking me everywhere they went. My mother and father were, just real positive to all of us. They had that great attitude, and they gave us all 7 kids individual attention. And that to this day, and actually today would have been my dad's 89th birthday. And my brother and I have great conversations saying what a man he was. 7 kids and took care of every single one of us. We felt the love. The camaraderie of that family was there. He was the leader. My mom was his equal. He was a leader as a man as far as making money and taking care of his family. Came to decisions. They did it together. They dragged 7 kids everywhere they went until they left. So I was fortunate enough to have the greatest relationship with them because obviously I was the youngest and I was around when everybody else was gone. So the 3 of us established, you would have thought we were best friends, and I would tell my dad when I got old enough, I am super proud of you, man. 7 kids and you never walked out the door once. And you've been a part of my life every single day,
So Wayne, we're giving you, this is going to be your platform, and you're going to be able to bring on the people, athletes, and people that you have worked with and advised through the years. Why did you choose Devin first?
Again, one thing that stood out to me was his intelligence. He had a plan. He has a plan. And he was very unselfish when he discussed that with me. He said, these guys here mean everything in the world to me and my family. And I want them to carry this on. I want them to have the opportunities. I don't want them to be given anything. I want them to earn it like I did. He said, but at least I want them to understand exactly where they are and what people think of them and tell them how to structure their character so that they can go out and compete and get the best. So that's why he does what he does every day. He shows them, I can get up and do these clothes for you. You know why? Because I care about you guys. I want you to be able to get up and do this for yourself one day. But right now, while you're at this stage, let me show you. Let me show you what a leader does. Let me sit and do your homework with you. Let me go to practice with you. So you have me 24 hours. And he's been that great influence. And when I sat down with him and he had the knowledge, he had the financial wherewithal, he knew where he wanted to go. He knew what he wanted to do. And he was fixated on it. And he was dedicated to it. And I said, this is my kind of guy, does something to perfection. Dev is just a guy that wants to do it right, everything he touches. And that you have to admire.
I appreciate you bringing him here. I want to ask a couple of questions. Devin, we're finding out now about head injuries in football, okay? And obviously you were spared. You the wide receiver, everybody coming after you. Right? And, and you're getting sacked or whatever, do you know who Rocket is? Rocket, he was a football player. He really had from some trauma a long time. This is a long time ago.
Rocket Ishmael?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocket Ishmael.
Rocket Ishmael?
I think it was Rocket.
That's
He's
it.
over now, right? Yeah.
That's correct.
So now they're talking about these injuries and things and what happened to the players. Were you lucky enough to avoid, to not get hurt or?
So I would say I had minor injuries, but when it comes to the head trauma, us athlete-wise football players, growing up and this being the way out, you know what I mean? If you can understand what I'm saying, and
Yes,
society, this being our way out to making it and being success is kind of like growing up is what we thought, you know what I mean, as young African Americans, you know what I mean? This is a way out that we can utilize our talent and what we're blessed with to find a way to get out and to make it in life and be somebody in life. So to boil down to that, I would say like it was a lot of times where I took a couple of shots where I knew something was wrong, but then again, I was looking for like, this is my opportunity, you know what I mean, to make it better for my family, for my mom, for my brother, for my sister, you know what I mean? And not say nothing. And, you know what I mean, take a couple of minutes, a couple, seconds and get back out there and play. So to be honest, I don't know how many concussions I really had. I don't know how many mild concussions I really had, because 95% of them, I didn't say nothing because I was able to sit out 2-3 minutes and get back in the game. Now, the ones where you just can't help it, you just lost, those are the ones where you it's obvious somebody got to say something to you, you know what I mean? Because you can't really get up or you can't really walk. Those are the obvious ones. But the ones where you're able to get up on your own and walk off, those are it's like I said, it's 95% of them that's hidden from doctors, from the coaches. Because at the end of the day, like, you can get up and find your way to the sideline without saying that. Just telling the coach, I'm tired, let me get a drink of water. But just saying that to hide it, to get a break, to get yourself back ready and get back in the game.
So you all are afraid to show that you're hurt or that it was too much because you don't want to be taken out of the game. I mean, that's a heavy pressure. I mean, because you got to think about, okay, so you can't get hurt so that you can't play the game at all, and at the same time, you got to stay in the game, but you got to fake it. You got to fake it if you are hurt, right?
Yeah, majority. Yeah,
that's an extra stress on you also. And so, but did you notice anything in your character or anything? Did it change, in terms of being more irritated or anything like that while you were playing?
What
would you suggest today? What would you suggest to somebody who was a, wide receiver today, or tell the coach? What? Because it's a precarious place. It's a hard place to be, right?
It's very hard because, you know what I mean. I see guys that tell when they dinged up, I got headaches from a hit, and after 4 or 5 of those, they get kicked out the league. So when you start complaining about too many headaches or too many concussions, it's really, really saying, hey, you have one more concussion. All right, we send you to the doctor and we find out you got one more concussion. We're gonna have to end your career. So think about a guy that had 3 or 4 of those in college and then get to the league and get 2 of them. You know what I mean? Because when you start getting 5 or 6 concussions, now they're looking at you like it's time for you to retire. You're not physically able to play. So you don't want nobody to know when you have the mild concussions where you can get up on your own, because those are the ones you hide. It's the serious ones where you can't get up on your own that you don't have no choice but to let people know.
So when you're talking about things like that, so if we're playing today, a person and you know that you're getting concussions, okay, right. But it would be smart of you to have somebody like Wayne put your money away.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So in case I might only have 2 more years or something like that, I gotta invest my money. I don't know if that's ever happened with you, Wayne, that someone came to you out of fear that they may have to stop, playing.
Right.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You encounter so many different scenarios. And again, like I said, I'm blessed with the right people that are at the best of their business. And I mean, when I say the best, I mean the absolute best. Years and years of experience. So they're in their eyes, there's really nothing new to them. It's just everybody has a different strategy and a different structure. That's really you have to take into consideration.
So
each and every individual has a different situation.
Why did you come to Wayne, Devin? How did you hear about Wayne?
We met through mutual friends on the business side, and we sat down and we talked at the table amongst our peers. And the more we sat down at the table and talked, me and him kind of built a connection that we was on the same path, you know what I mean, and what we're trying to do in life to better ourselves. And it just kind of clicked from there. And then, it's like after the meeting, I was like, hey, let me get your number. You get my number. Let's talk more. You know what I mean? It felt like it wasn't enough time. When you see a person, it wasn't enough time at that moment to really, really get to know him. So you're like, hey, this is my number. Let's talk a little bit more later on when you get free time. And that's where it hit off, you know what I mean? And we conversated, you know what I mean, and talk more. And the more, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to surround yourself by positive people and people that's in your same, you'll have your same mind and that's trying to get to the same goal that you're trying to get to.
What are you doing today? Are you you have your own business or
Pretty much I do a little real estate. I have commercial properties, um and I own a plaza too. So I
you
own
own
a
a
plaza.
plaza? How smart are you?
Yeah, yeah. So I
So did
own.
you get hit hard with the COVID because
No, so at the time of COVID was really, really better. It kind of worked in my favor because I was in the process of building it. So it just really, really gave the builders, enough time to build without, a lot of traffic going in that area. And so once the COVID started dying down, that's when the stores pretty much opened up.
So listen, so how long, how many stores are there? How big is this plaza?
So this plaza is 8,800 square feet. I have 6 stores in it. Right next to Panera Bread, Publix, McDonald's. It's in Windermere. So if you don't know where it's Windermere is where all the wealthy people, Tiger Woods, and the famous people stay at. So it's in a nice, decent area, and I chose it, because of the community that it was in, and at the end of the day, you pick location. When you do like real estate and commercial properties, it's all about the location.
Yes, it is.
So you find a good location, you know what I mean? It's almost like a gold mine. You're gonna always do good there.
So did you bring Wayne in and for the decision of
No, me and Wayne just pretty much met about a good month ago. So this project, I kind of been working on. I pretty much bought the land and locked it in when I was playing. And when I retired, it was there waiting on me, and that's when I moved forward with the build.
How come you didn't spend a lot of money on girls and cars and things?
Because I was always that kid that always had a girlfriend, and I didn't, guys that don't have girlfriends, at young age and playing sports, they like to play around. You know what I mean? You have multiple girlfriends. You know what I mean? Friends. I felt like I was always locked up with a girl and was faithful, so it didn't have me all over the place. And so like when I got to the league, I was dating my wife, and so the second year of the league, she came to move with me. So it was from then on, I was just locked in. You know what I mean? I didn't have to chase no girls around. You know what I mean? Now it's just football for me.
So when Wayne, do you take how do you advise him now? How do you advise Devin? I mean, Devin has a home, he has his children, he has a plaza. What do you give advice? Do you give to him?
Well, with Devin, it's very mutual. It's almost, well, not almost, but it is. We're on the same level. We have the same objectives. We have the same goals. So it's a lot easier to work with a guy like Devin because he already knows everything he needs to know to take the next step. Now it's a matter of my network opening up with his network, and seeing where he fits. And again, with the financial guys that I have, they're the best in the country. And he's able to discuss that plan with them as well and keep his legacy going. But now mutually, he and I mean, we have projects that we're going to, and endeavors that we're getting ready to get to. And all I can say is you're going to see it. The world will see it. This man has many talents. He's just, he's very conservative. He's very laid back. And, and those are the guys that are the most powerful. The guys that you hear out there talking about everything that they're going to do, those are the guys that end up not doing it. I mean, I won't get into politics, but you heard people promise to build this, to do that. Never happens. But a guy like Devin, it's happening because he's already building it. He's just not talking about it.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a great interview. It is empowering to me, and I'm glad that you guys agreed to come on. This is I'm actually giving Wayne this platform so that he can bring on more people like you, Devin, so that this is a healing and a teaching program, because I'm in pain about what's happening to my people, especially to Black men.
Right.
And so you all are welcome to. Well, Wayne has this open door for you. You know that. And Devin, you have something that you want to share as you learn things. Don't think about, well, I've already been on there. No, I want knowledge. I want you teaching. I want instructions. I want good behavior. I want people to say, aha, maybe I can do that. You know what I mean? And not spend your money on things that are devalued as soon as you drive it out of the store, you know.
Correct.
And how they invest it. So, are there any questions for me? Because I'm really happy that you all spent some time with me this evening. I don't want to take up too much of your time. You know, Wayne, it's hard for me to get Wayne trust and believe.
Same with you, Jamie. But Jamie, you know what? I'm glad you opened up the platform, Jamie, because now I wanted to say to you, you know, similar to questions that you're asking to Devin, I want to ask you a similar question. You know, you've done this before. Sister was a great accomplishment, extremely successful, one of the best in the country. Not only did you have Black women reading this magazine, but you had other women of not of color reading this magazine, and they really were attached to you. You know why? Because I think you had the right topics, the right subjects, and you did it all from a spiritual sense. And I don't think you really isolated it and meant it for color. You just meant to give Black women a platform to show how competitive they were. And that's what I appreciated about you. Now I want to know, after letting it all go, why are you back again too? Why are you back again?
Well, I just said that because it's my ministry. I don't have a choice. God has been good to me and he poured into me. I have to help. I help God with his kids. That's it. You know, if I know better, I got to tell you, well, Devin or Wayne, you might not want to go over there, go through that door because, you know, not good things are not going to happen to you. That's on me. I have to do that. Right now, I have 3 women, DMX's fiance. I have Swiss Beats manager, her husband's dead. There's 3 women, and that we lost our husbands. First of all, we had great husbands. So you can't tell me negative things about Black men because I know great Black men. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
all of us have these, and my husband's been dead 6 years, and I'm dealing with these women that I know we had treasures. We didn't have the ordinary guy, you know. So I spend time every day calling them, what did you do today? Or I was telling DMX's fiance, get a tape recorder. I'll send you one. You know, talk about him so that his son will know about him. Because you understand what I'm saying? Right. You know, absolutely. I tell them things to help them through their hard times. It is my ministry. I don't have a choice. And because I told God, get me a boyfriend and let me go on an island somewhere. I've done, you know, I had 25 years of sister to sister. I had 5 years of BET because I programmed Donnie Simpson's show, you know, video. So I told God, I said, I think I'm done enough. And he's like, you're not going to tell me when you're done.
Right.
No, you still have work to do. So that's why I'm here. I have a lot. I'm older. I have a lot of wisdom, and I have a lot of
experience.
You know, I lived abroad, Devin, for 9 years in Sweden. So I graduated from the University of Stockholm, and my husband was he got his PhD from over there, and he worked for the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, where he was regulating oil pipelines and nuclear reactors and things like that. You know, dude, I mean, this guy was just, I said, I know you love me because you gave me this dude. He was incredible. So I need to pull out and have and serve you all to the world on the sister to sister platter so that people know that you all exist. I'm tired of them talking about you all in a negative way. I'm tired of them talking about Black people in a negative way because we were put in this position and so many things were done to us. And now we're told that we're the worst things on earth. But you were the ones who created this. We didn't jump in those slave ships on our own. Oh, put me in the slave ship and take me across the water and everything. No, we didn't do that. You did that. So my job is to let us know who we are and how we got here, and not to denigrate and talk down to and harm one another. That's it.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Totally.
And I thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your wisdom and your beautiful faces with me. Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Don't be a stranger.